Right?
Why would Rick Young, so long ago, was in a boxing ring so many years ago? Why would he want to step in a boxing ring? Why? Why do people climb Mount Everest? Because it's challenging, it's difficult. Napoleon Hill said, you got to have a burning desire. I have a desire to get in the ring at this stage in the game. Then you have to believe in yourself. You got to believe that you could do it. And then the last step of the formula is willingness. Willingness to do the work, to prepare yourself. The willingness to prepare yourself, to do what it takes to step in that ring and make a good or great account of yourself. That's the 3-step formula. Having a burning desire. That's all you think about. You want it. You got to be hungry, like Les said. You got to be hungry. And like my friend Robert Kreiner said, sharing a vision. Ladies and gentlemen, I actually have a guest on the line right now. He's an exciting communicator. He has been empowering audiences since 1990. He's the author of the book, Sharing a Vision for Positive Self-Development. He's also the author of How to Keep Yourself Motivated and Win at the Game of Life. Ladies and gentlemen, Robert E. Kreiner, Mr. Enthusiasm. Good morning, Robert. How are you doing this morning?
I am blessed, and I can't worry about the rest.
Good
morning, Rick Young.
Oh man. This moment in time will never, ever happen again. This moment in history.
I agree, my brother. I agree.
This moment in history, we have to make the most of the moment. Let me just drop this on you real quick. I had a lady who was here in the studio. She's from Holland. She was a very successful bond trader, and she was doing very well, very successful, making good money. Her and her boyfriend was doing some kind of trip, and so they were going to a beach in Vietnam, and the plane took a serious dip. It just dropped, boom, and everybody was screaming, and she looked at her boyfriend, and it dipped again, even further than the first time. Boom, it dropped. And so everybody was panicking, everybody was screaming, so they looked at each other, they went to hold hands, and all of a sudden everything went black. She said when she came to, the plane was in 3 places. It crashed into the mountains of Vietnam. The plane was in 3 places. And she looked at her fiance, he was gone. Everybody on the plane was gone, Robert. Everybody. The pilots, the stewardess, and all the passengers. There was one man that was alive, and then she talked to him for a little while. She said he didn't talk too much, but he said, they're coming to get us because I'm a very important man. And an hour later, she asked him, are they coming to get us? He said, yes, they're coming to get us. I'm a very important man. An hour later, she asked him again, are they coming to get us? He said, yes, I'm a very important man. But she said his breathing started to get slower. And she said, look, please don't leave me. And he left. He went on. He passed on. So now she's the only one. Her hips are broken up and she's crawling around. So here's what she told me, Robert. She says, I couldn't think about my life before the crash. I couldn't think about that. Her very successful life. She said she couldn't even think about her life afterwards. What's going to happen? Are they going to come get her? She couldn't think about that. She had to stay in the moment. She had to stay in the here and now. I said, wow, that's a powerful message. Here and now. So, Robert, what do you get from that message?
I agree with her. You got to stay in the here and now. What's going on? And you talked about Napoleon Hill earlier. Again, one of my favorite Napoleon Hill quotes is simply, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve.
Yes. Yes.
So the fact that in the here and now, that this lady was thinking in the moment, surviving, striving in the moment, created her future. That's what I got from it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What an exciting story. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, she's gonna be. They're having the. Hold on a second. Robert. 1 second.
Harlem has its own radio station, WHCR 90.3 FM, the voice of Harlem.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rick Young. I'm the host of the motivational radio program called What's in Your Hand. I'm your motivational host, and my guest this morning is Robert E. Kreiner, Mr. Enthusiasm, author of Sharing a Vision for Positive Self-Development and How to Keep Yourself Motivated and Win at the Game of Life. What's more important than that, than winning at the game of life? Robert, could you define for me what is personal development or self-development, personal development? Can you define that?
Well, yeah, I can do that. It's primarily personal. It is personal. It's really a hyphenated perspective of self-development. From the African proverb, know thyself. It is actually knowing who you are, discovering who you are, and moving forward in life. But it's personal. And again, everybody is not going to get it for you. Nobody can get it for you but you. It's that divine inside, the inside-out principle is what we call it. And again, but the second word, the first part is personal, which is self. The second part is development, which is always learning, always growing, always moving forward. And that's how I and my organization defines personal development.
Wow. You know, and I know you were a college basketball player. And what position did you play in basketball, Robert?
Shooting guard.
A shooting guard.
Shooting guard, yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Some people, I love sports because I was a professional boxer. So, and I know that there are boxers, and then there are boxers. And when I say there are boxers, I'm talking about boxers with a high IQ. There are basketball players that have high IQs. Were you a basketball player, Robert, with a high IQ? Understood?
Yeah, understanding. Yeah, that it was 70% mental.
Right, understanding the game.
Yeah. You have to be a student of the game.
A student of the game. There you go. Making that right pass, knowing when to take. Like a guy like Vinny Johnson, he coming out, he just firing away. Downtown Freddie Brown, they just coming shooting. That's it. I'm a shooter.
Right.
But then you got other players that understand the basic fundamentals of the game and how to win. Also, the shot could be off, but they're still like a guy like Magic Johnson. I don't have to score to beat you. I could do other things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, currently LeBron James is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
He looks to pass before he shoots.
Right.
But again, he knows when it's time to take over the game.
Yeah.
Sometimes a shooting guard, Rick Young, knows when it's time to take it. He or she picks their spots.
Okay. So let's say the shooting guard is not hitting the shot right now. So does he know how to work his way to warm up, to get that feeling, that flow, or to get in that zone? Does he know how to do that?
Again, the method. In fact, we work with a few student athletes at a couple of colleges and universities in the Southwest. And one of the things that we always share with them is to make sure that you go to the hoop, get fouled. If you can generally create an and one. But once you get that a hoop or two to go in, and then once you get to that foul line and hit a couple of free throws, you get into a rhythm. Basketball is a rhythm. And so a shooter knows when he or she is off. And so the fundamental thing is you have to create your shot. Also, if you are a bona fide shooter, and let's say you're averaging about 25, 26 points a game, then you are always going to be double teamed. So that's when you find your other teammate, and you pass it out. You share it with them. You share the rock. And so now, you know, not only do you have about 18, 20 points at the end of the game, but you've got, a few rebounds. You may have about 9 or 10 assists. So you're working on a triple-double, Rick. That's a winner. That's the winner, baby.
You mean
That's
like Oscar Robertson? So,
yes, sir.
So you talked about rhythm. Let's talk about being in the rhythm of success. How do you get into the rhythm of success?
Yes, sir. Again, the perspective that we're looking at in 2014. In fact, our motto is "Dare to Dream" in 2014. Dare to dream in 2014. One more time, dare to dream in 2014. Don't let anyone take your dreams away from you. Now, with that in mind, there are three, we call the 3 P's that you must have in 2014 to make it effective and to win at the game of life. Number one, you have to discover your purpose. What is your purpose?
Mm-hmm.
You have to operate in that. There are people who are leaving the planet who don't or are not fulfilling their purposes, that you literally have to purpose yourself, which is the will to live. Why am I here on this planet?
Mm-hmm.
The second P is once you discover that purpose, you have to do it with a passion. And passion means that you do it literally every day. I mean, there's some kind of perspective or program that we're doing, whether it's with a local charity, whether it's a nonprofit, whether it's with a corporate program, whether it's an educational program. We are passionate about helping people to see, accept, and achieve their greatness. And then the third part, the P, is that you have to be persistent.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be persistent with it, regardless of it. Again, if that left jab is working for you, you got to keep throwing it, Rick Young.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
You hear what I'm saying? So purpose, the 3 P's: purpose, passion, persistence equals success.
Oh well, all right now. All right, that's a great formula. That's a great formula. You know, when you talk about mathematics, you're talking about formulas.
Yes, sir.
We know that if you have the correct formula, you're going to be successful, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
You know, another successful formula, Robert, is a full court press.
True.
Now, how does a person put a full court press on their dreams in 2014? Woo!
You like that? You like that? I can tell.
Yeah, man. How do you put a full court press?
The way a person, to answer your question to simply, is that, again, it's defined by purpose, meaning doing something every day to create something magical in the day. Doing something, making each day count, living in the moment, as we started this conversation off. That you literally live in the moment and say, this is the day, not yesterday, not tomorrow. But again, in fact, there's a scripture that we adhere to, that I personally adhere to. I said it this morning several times. This is the day that the Lord has made. I'm going to rejoice and be glad in it. Now, when you say that over and over, you're in the moment. You're in this day. And you want to make that day count. That's it. That's the fundamental deal. And you do that. If you do that 7 days a week, you've got a week. If you do that another 7 days, you got 2 weeks. And so on and so on. Before you know it, you've got a month. And you have developed a habit. And, you know, Rick Young, you know what do we say all the time? Habits are hard to what? Break. So if habits are hard to break, then develop a positive habit where you are living a purposeful life every day with passion and persistence. And it creates the success that you want. It has to. It's a very simple rule. But again, our whole conception of simplicity is the KISS principle. KISS stands for keep it simple and successful.
Okay. I like that. Now, one of the things that I see is that people are very easy to get distracted, Robert. They get distracted. They come up with this, they come up with that, they come up with this news, that news, and this person said this, and this person said that. So now you focus on what that person said, but you're not focused on your dreams. Because you focus on what Mark Cuban said. He said this, and he said this, and this one said that. But are you focused on your dream? So how do you become laser focused, Robert E. Kreiner?
There is, the key word is focus. It's not hocus pocus. It is focus.
Mm-hmm.
And focus means to target in, to concentrate. Again, you are the person that programs your mind daily. And think about this. This is something that Les Brown taught me years ago. He said that either you program your mind or something or somebody else will.
Ooh.
And so you have to understand that you are in charge. That's going back to personal development. You literally have to program yourself. And when somebody comes up to you about what Mark Cuban said or what Sterling said or whatever somebody else said, you said, look here, I don't grow from that. I'm not on that payroll. I'm on my payroll. I'm on the success train. I'm on the success payroll. So I'm focused on this. Now, focus, it entails an incredible amount of energy. And you have to learn how to program your mind every day. That's one of the programs that we teach young people, in particular, to focus on, because there's so much information coming from different directions. And you can become sidetracked by negative thinking, by pessimistic people. So, in order to really focus in, you have to, again, literally write down what it is. Write down your dream for 2014. Something that T.D. Jakes said recently in a conversation to me. He simply said, you got to write down the vision and make it plain. You got to write it down and make it plain. And when you see yourself getting out of norm, getting out of the behavior that you want to achieve the success, then you come back to, you look at what you wrote down. It's a contract to yourself. I thought, wow. And I've been out here for a long, long time. But my point is that even I can learn. That's the point. I don't know it all. But again, I'm listening. I'm a lifelong learner.
I love that. Now,
I'm a lifelong learner. Yes, sir.
I'm glad you said that, because we know that basketball is a team sport. There are 5 players.
Yes, sir.
Now, here's what I know. I don't know a lot, but I know this. I know that if I have a guy on my team and his job is to play defense and grab rebounds, he's not a big scorer. But I do want to put the ball in his hands. I want him to touch the ball. I want him to feel the ball. I want him to pass the ball, because now he's involved in the game, even though that makes him more aggressive on defense and more aggressive on rebounding, because he's in the flow of the game. He's touching the ball. I'm not just taking all the shots, or me and somebody else taking all the shots. I want him to touch the ball too. Let that ball move around. Whip that ball around. Hey, am I on point here? Am I correct about this, Robert?
Absolutely. And again, the foundation is in practice, because why do you practice? You practice because you want to practice a certain drills, passing drills, dribbling drills, layup drills, free throws, all of that. So again, going back to the rhythm. See, there's a rhythm in terms of sports, particularly in basketball. There's a rhythm to the game. That's just the way it is. And so you want that rebound, that defensive-minded individual to touch the ball and be a part of the team, the concept. You never know. You might have to pass it to him for the winning bucket.
Yeah, and if I can set him up where he's right in position, all he got to do is lay it up.
Yes, sir.
He's not a shooter, but if I put him in the right position, set him up right, he's laying it up. Or he might be dunking it. Because, I'm setting him up close to the basket. He's not going to shoot the 3-pointers or the jumpers, 15-footers, but I get him close to the basket. So these philosophies we could also use in life, setting up our teams, getting everybody involved. Am I correct,
Absolutely.
Robert?
Absolutely. Yes. And that, again, goes back to something that I heard and read by Zig Ziglar. He said, if I help enough people get what they want, I will certainly get what I want.
Right.
So it follows the same procedure, the same rhythm to success.
Right. Okay. Right. And so you have a team. Everybody has different strengths. What strengths do they bring to the table that we could use? Because I heard someone say, if you're not being used, maybe that's because you're useless. So use me. Use me.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm being used. I'm honored to be doing what I'm doing. I'm honored to get up in the morning, early in the morning. It's a blessing to get up and then serve. To get up, Robert, and serve.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Hold on a second, Robert. Hold on one second.
It's worth it.
It's worth it.
People ask, hey man, these kids, man, it's rough dealing with them. That's right. You think peer pressure happened overnight? We went through peer pressure. I remember as a kid, some guys said, hey, Les, and another fellow named Willie Lola, we were going home. Hey, man, we're going down to Gould's, man, and knock off a grocery store. I said, look here, I don't want no part of that. I'll see y'all later. Say, y'all chicken. I said, that's all right, you say whatever you want. Low star. I'm not chicken, man, don't call me chicken. Now why don't you come? We didn't even ask you to come into place, man. All you do is just drive the car, that's all. I don't know how to drive that good. Well, we're trying to get Les to come. He's chicken. Hey, I'm not driving nothing, all right? Willie, don't care about what they say, man. Leave him alone. You want to go do it? You find somebody else to drive, or you drive yourself. Come on, Willie, man. Pull him, he stop. I ain't chicken. All I got to do is drive? Yeah. I said, Willie, that sounds simple, man. Don't go, man. He went. And the next day, we read the newspaper where when they robbed the store, when they came out running to a car, the merchant, the man who owned the store, came out just shooting wildly, and he hit the driver in the head. So peer pressure didn't just start in the 90s or the 80s. It's difficult and it's challenging for kids right now.
Look at that, Robert. Dissect that piece right there, Robert, for me.
Very simply, destiny is a matter of choice, not a matter of chance.
Come on now, come on.
See, Les's decision to not go into that environment created his destiny.
So my destiny is so if I decide not to take that drink, not to go with the guys that's getting high, not to go with the guys that's committing crimes, not the guys that's not reading books, not the guys that's not exercising, I don't want to hang out with those guys.
Absolutely.
I want to hang out with the guys that's exercising, the guys that's reading Think and Grow Rich, the guys that's reading How to Keep Yourself Motivated and Win at the Game of Life. Yes, absolutely. Grandmama said this, again, the folks who you hang around with is who you are. Do I want to hang out with the Cornell Thomases?
Absolutely.
Do I want to hang out with
Lester Givens? Yeah.
The A. Lester Givens?
Yes.
These are guys I want to hang out with?
Yes, sir.
The Robert Criners?
They're going somewhere. Yeah, they're going somewhere. They're success-minded thinkers. They're success thinkers.
The Les Browns?
They're motivated. Yes, the Les Browns.
You know, I got a chance to be around Zig Ziglar. I got a chance to be around Jim Rohn. I got a chance to be around Tony Robbins. I got a chance to be around Les Brown. I can go on and on and on because that's a decision I made, Robert. I grew up in the projects, man, on 125th Street.
Likewise.
In Harlem.
Yep.
Here I am in the audience, and there's Tony Robbins. Matter of fact, I'm on stage with Tony Robbins. 125th Street projects, Grand Projects. I have him on the stage with Tony Robbins and Les Brown. So there it is. You know, we make our choices, man. We have choices.
Destiny is a matter of choice, not a matter of chance.
You know, I'm not saying that to impress anyone. I'm saying that to impress upon you that there is greatness in us. There's greatness in us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, let me share something with you, Rick Young. We're getting ready to start on June 1st through August 31st, the Mark of Greatness Tour. And the Mark of Greatness Tour has been running for about 8-9 years now during the summer months because the young people are out of school and we want to engage them into programming their mind for success. But one of the affirmations we always start out with goes like this. It says, my life is full of unlimited possibilities, and the mark of greatness is upon me. I'm going to the top. I cannot be stopped because I deserve the best. And so it is. So the fundamental thing in terms of understanding that the mark of greatness is indeed upon all of us. It is not just a few people, but it's on all of us. But if we don't tap into that greatness, then we become ineffective as a human being.
Now, how do we impress upon the youth, the children? How do we impress upon them to believe in themselves? Because a lot of times, sometimes they don't hear this message. they're not hearing these good principles that we're talking about this morning. How do we get that message to the youth of today, Robert?
Well, for those of us who are speakers or trainers or desiring to be speakers or trainers, and one of the things that we do within the Sharing the Vision Success Network piece is to make sure that we are going and giving our service, lending our services where young people are. For us, particularly, we are aligned with the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. There is the YMCA. There are all kinds of community organizations that love for folks to come in and share a word, an encouraging word, or an empowerment word. So there are a lot of things to do. You can either, the schools also allow folks to come in and share information with kids. So there is a way to do it. In fact, we need to fundamentally focus on that. For those of us who have a positive thought, a positive word, a positive workshop, seminar, to go into your own community and set up a community speech where you can talk to these particular young people. That's what's needed. Again, we're not talking about nothing too esoterical, nothing too difficult, but just a formula like the 3 Ps: developing purpose, passion, and persistence. And that's all you talk about. And then allow the young people to ask questions, answer the questions, and that's how you plant seeds of greatness in the minds of youth. And we've been doing this, again, since 1990.
Purpose, passion, and persistence.
Yes, sir. Equals success.
That's the formula.
That's the formula.
Okay.
Live your dreams in 2014.
Wow. And, it's really, it's not easy, but it's rather simple. It's really not complicated. It's a simple formula.
Absolutely.
Would you speak to that?
Absolutely. Yes. But again, the most challenging piece is to develop your purpose. Find it. Why are you here? What are you interested in? What talents have you been given? What's the gifts that you've been given? How are you going to give your service? How are you going to serve humanity? That's what greatness is. It's serving humanity.
Right. Well, I think my purpose for being here is just to party like a rock star, man. I think that's why I'm here.
Come on.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm here, man, to create parties. But my parties are a little different. My parties are focused on success. My parties are focused on networking. Now, let me ask you something, Robert. How important is networking? And what is your definition of networking? You hear people talk about networking.
Well, again, that's interesting to say that, Rick Young. That, again, we have coined the phrase success networking. And the reason for our thinking along these lines is because you whatever you say will be the way. So if you say success networking, then your networking becomes a success. Remember, going back to what Napoleon Hill said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So success networking is literally from that old song that we used to sing in the church, and where it says, "This little light of mine, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine." Now again, you laughed, and that's what the audience does. Our audience is always laugh. But the power, Rick Young, is in the second verse. The power is in the second verse, where it says, "Everywhere I go, I'm going to let it shine."
Oh, come on now. Come on.
Now, that's success networking. That's my definition. As I shared with Cornell Thomas, one of your distinguished guests who wrote the book, The Power of Positivity. And I shared with him the other day on a call, simply saying to him, you are your brand. Everywhere you go, you got to let your light shine. And when people see your light, Rick Young, and they see it shining, they will include you in. They will want to be a part of you. Yeah. They will want to run with you. They will want to hang with you. They will want to develop positive relationships with you. That's how the business is done. So everywhere you go, you got to let that light shine, man. That's success networking.
Cornell Thomas, he gave a wonderful gift to the What's in Your Hand motivational radio show to help keep the show on the air. So that brother,
Awesome.
that is a magnificent brother, and I really appreciate him. That's why I introduced him to you, because I want to open up my network to him, and all the contacts that I have, he can get connected to my network. Open up my network to Cornell Thomas.
And Brother Givens, who is out of the Arlington Fort Worth area.
Now, how far is he actually from you?
He's about 2.5 hours.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but that's close, and we have already done a fellowship. He is an exciting young man. He is doing some great things. In fact, he's going to be a part of our Market Greatness tour when we go down in his area.
Wow! Look at that! Look at that!
Yeah.
Oh, what a blessing!
Networking. Mm-hmm.
Now you got to hook me up with the Cuban kid.
Yes. Yeah.
You got to make that
Andreas
connection.
Lara. Yeah. TheCubanGuy.com. Yes.
Now,
yeah, he's phenomenal.
Now, what we gonna do with our brother Wally Hakeem?
We are going to reach out to him. And again, be persistent. That's part of the 3 P's. We're going to be persistent and are reaching out to him and see what we can do. How can we serve him? How can we help?
Yeah, because I haven't heard from him lately. I have not.
But we know that he's doing something positive, something divine.
Right. There it is.
Yes.
Yeah. This is exciting, man. I think with what's about to happen, because, you know, as Adam Clayton Powell said, as God said to Moses, it's in our hands. It's in our hands, Robert.
Yeah.
It's not in no one else's hands. But again, we get distracted. We don't have that laser focus, because somebody will say something, and here we go. We jumping on, why did he say this? And he said, so now we taking our focus, we taking our energy off our goal and our dreams, because Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, said something.
And while I've heard the interview, it really doesn't significantly say anything. It is simply a matter of somebody's opinion, and everybody has one.
Right.
And that's how you have to remember. And then you go back to say, what is my purpose? What is my passion? How can I be persistent in what I'm doing and bringing success? That's all you have to stay focused with.
Well, some radio programs, some shows, that's their purpose. They're gonna focus on that. But
now let me give you a solution to that. And someone by the name of Brian Tracy shared this with me. What you do is you turn that off, and you put in a CD of your choosing. Of Rick Young running it down, Robert E. Crumb and Mr. Enthusiasm running it down, some positive information. So Les Brown running something down. So what literally you are doing, running your own program in your vehicle.
Yes.
You don't have to listen to the radio.
What's in your hand? What's in your hand? University.
Yes, sir.
Sharing a Vision University.
Absolutely. See, here's a component that I hope that your listeners will hear this one. But see, vision is seeing the opportunity inside the challenge. And so long as you have your vision before you, that's what you focus on. Let me say it again. Vision is seeing the opportunity inside the challenge.
There it is. Wow.
So keep your vision. It's the version of the old Earth, Wind, and Fire piece. It's keep your head to the sky. Come on now. Don't hurt him, Robert. Yeah. So again, we get sidetracked by secondary activities, and you have to be careful with that, because that's a trick of the pessimistic enemy. And so you've got to make sure that that's not a part of your life. That's not a part of your purpose. That's not a part of your passion. Yet that has nothing to do with, I could care less what Cuban or anyone says. As long as it doesn't affect us to the point where they're putting some money where their mouth is, now we got to attack that. But the essence of it is, that's just an opinion of one fella. Right. And they didn't even really do well in the playoffs.
Well, they took San Antonio to 7.
Yeah.
They took them 7. They took them 7.
Come on.
You know, but you take, we talk about the full court press. So
yes,
let's say Michael Jordan, right? He is on the court, He's opposite. Listen, everywhere he go, hold on a second, Robert.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
Everywhere he go is where I go. I'm picking you up full court. I'm not letting you bring it to me and gain your momentum. I'm putting the pressure on you. As soon as you take I'm not even gonna let you get the ball in your hands. I don't even want the ball in your hands. I'm on you. You can set picks and all that, but I'm gonna be on you. And that's how you want to be on this whole success game. You want to be on it. Can you speak to that, Robert?
I would say that. Yeah, you have to be focused. There's a focus. There's a commitment. You have to make yourself. Commitment means that you'll come through time after time, year after year. The commitment is the stuff that character is literally made of. You got to commit yourself to your purpose, your passion, and your persistence. Yeah. And then once you do that, you separate yourself. There's this line in the church where it said you sanctify yourself. The word sanctify means to separate yourself or set apart. Woohoo! You got to set apart.
There you go.
From the folks who are just doing everyday stuff.
Now,
the folks who are talking about everyday stuff. The people who are operating in negativity and concerned about what somebody said. The key is going back to Brother Powell, where he says, what's in your hand? Don't concern yourself about that. What's in your hand? Do something about that. Do something with that. The mark of greatness is upon you.
The mark of greatness is upon you. Robert, I need to take a quick break. You're going to hold on for a second, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, hold on for a second. We're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna bring it on home. Time is flying, but we're gonna bring it on home. Full court press. Continue full court press. I'll see you in a minute on the other side.
Great.
And it's going to take some easy, simple methods to help bring them out of this madness, this insanity. No. Is it hard? Yes. Let's look at what we've been doing. What has worked? What has not worked? Let's look at where we want to go. What is it that we want to produce? What is it that we want to create for our young people? And as we think about that, start experimenting with different methods and techniques to create and to produce that. And begin to believe that it's possible through our commitment, through our vision, through our determination, our relentlessness. Because of our belief, it's possible that we can reduce the teenage homicide rate, the teenage pregnancy rate, the dropout rate, that it's possible, looking at what kind of world are they going to be in. As we look at the global economy, that as we begin to use our collective will and genius and resources, it's possible that we can create an educational system that not only will test their minds with information and facts and figures, but would teach them how to think and be creative. And what does it mean to be a human being and to value human life? And how do you make relationships work? How do you bounce back from adversity? It's possible that we can give them a curriculum that will give their lives a sense of purpose and direction and meaning, and teach them how to begin to know and operate on a higher level of being, where they become assets to our society rather than liabilities. What if we leave here with that kind of consciousness that it's possible, as opposed to saying we have to write this generation off, that it's possible that we were born for such a time as this and that, that maybe someone here has the idea or the method or some plan of action or an approach that can resolve many of the problems that we're facing with young people today. Whatever we have to do to save our children, it's worth it. So that brings me to the final step, that it's necessary for us to begin to look at the future and know that it's possible that we can have our dream. Yes, it is. Other people have done it, then we can do it. We fail a lot of times. Well, a lot of other folks fail, and eventually they came back and they succeeded. So it's possible we can have what we want, and we know that we want to get it. It's necessary that we align ourselves with people that think like we do. It's necessary we get negative, do-nothing people out of our lives. It's necessary we never stop learning and growing and developing ourselves. It's necessary that we never give up. We know that it's you, it's me. It's being responsible for our stuff and deciding that we're going to keep on keeping on, that we're going to find a way to win or find a way to make it happen. And we know it's hard. It's not going to be a picnic. Yes, it's hard. It's hard. And we will do it hard. And once we do it hard and we go through it, we realize it was worth it. And once you discover it was worth it, it is done. It's done.
As I know here, you're in trouble. Gloria says about 30% are unemployed. That's why I'm working hard to get this surplus food here. Some of you say to me, well, I'm not like you. I'm not a congressman. I haven't got education. I haven't got work. But you're a human being. And you know what you've got? You've got in your hand the power to use your vote and to use even those few cents you get from welfare to spend them only where you want to spend them. Remember that. A young slave boy stood one day before the greatest ruler of his day. And God said to Moses, what's in your hand? And Moses said, Lord, only I've got a stick, that's all. He said, well, let me use what's in your hand. And God used that slave boy with a stick in his hand to divide the Red Seas, march through a wilderness, bring water out of rocks, manna from heaven, and bring his people to freedom land. What's in your hand? What's in your hand? George Washington Carver, who was so frail that he was traded for a broken-down horse as a slave boy. And George Washington Carver, sitting in the science laboratory at Tuskegee, told me, he said, Dr. Powell, he said, I just go out in the fields each morning at 5 o'clock, and I let God guide me. And I bring back these little things and work them over my laboratory, and that man did more to revolutionize the agricultural science of peanuts and of cotton and sweet potato than any other human being in the field of agricultural science. What's in your hand? Just let God use you, that's all. What's in your hand? I've got a string in my hand, that's all, and I'm flying a kite. And way up in the heavens, lightning strikes it. And I, Benjamin Franklin, discover for the first time the possibilities of electricity with a string in my hand. What's in your hand? Little hunchback sitting in a Roman jail. I haven't got anything in my hand but an old quill pen, but God says, write what I tell you to write. And Paul wrote, I have run my race with patience. I've finished my course. I've kept the faith. Henceforth there's laid up to me accountable. What's in your hand, little boy? All I've got is a slingshot. And the enemies of my people are great and big and more numerous than we are. Well, little David, go down to the brook and pick out a few stones and come on back and close your eyes if you want to and pull back that slingshot and let him go. And David killed the biggest enemy, the leader of the giants, against his people, and his people became free, just letting God guide a stone in his hand. And a few years passed and David is a king. And God says, what's in your hand? He said, I've got a harp in my hand. He said, well, David, play on your harp. And he played, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Maketh me to lie down in green pastures. Leadeth me beside still waters. Yea, though I walk through the valley in the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil. What's in your hand? What's in your hand? Man hanging on a cross. I've got 2 nails in my hand. Father, I stretch my hands to thee. No other help I know. If thou withdraws thyself from me, whither shall I go? And that man, with 2 nails in his hand, split history in half, BC and AD. And what's in your hand tonight, people of Cambridge? You've got God in your hand, and he'll let you win because he's on your side and one with God, always in the majority. So walk with him and talk with him and work with him and stick together and fight together. And with God's hand in your hand, the victory will be accomplished here sooner than you dreamed, sooner than you hoped, sooner than you prayed for, sooner than you imagined. Good night and God bless you.
Oh, man, keep your head to the sky. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rick Young, another segment of What's in Your Hand, Motivational Radio. Rick Young, I'm your Motivational Radio host, and my guest today is the author of Sharing a Vision for Positive Self-Development and How to Keep Yourself Motivated and Win at the Game of Life. I also have another guest on the line who's the author of I Choose to Stay. And also, he's the author of The Immortality of Influence. He's a principal of a school. His name is Salone Thomas. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, Salone. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Good. I want to introduce you to my brother, my motivational champion, Robert E. Cranner, Mr. Enthusiasm. Robert, say good morning to Salone.
Good morning. Welcome
Good
to the
morning,
line.
brother. How are you?
I'm blessed. I can't worry about the rest.
Okay. So, Robert, let me ask you real quick. You heard this piece by Reverend Dr. Adam Clayton Powell Jr. What became present for you as you was listening to these words, what's in your hand?
Yes, going back, Rick, just to the part of the purpose. And again, the purpose, what's in your hand. Use the gift that the Creator has given you. Mm-hmm. That's what comes to my mind. Everybody has a gift.
Wonderful. Now, Principal Salone, how do you pronounce it? Salone, right?
Yeah, Salome Thomas L., but everybody calls me Principal L.
All right, Principal L. Okay. Now, what became present for you as you heard those words by Reverend Dr. Adam Clayton Powell Jr.? What's in your hand?
I just thought about our young people every day. You know, I'm a principal in an elementary school in inner city Wilmington, Delaware, at the 4th highest murder rate in the country. And I've had 3 students in the past 3 months that lost their fathers in murder. And I just think about how sometimes the young people may not know about the gifts that they do have, because the community, we really have not supported our children the way we should.
Okay.
We have given them the safety and security, but they're a blessing from God. And these children, and like Brother Powell said, these children are going to grow up and change the world. They're going to be like, they got to be innovative and creative, and God has blessed them with that gift. And it's our job as the adults to protect them and raise them up so that they are able to take advantage of those gifts, brother.
Okay. This question is for both of y'all. When you hear this term, because I learned this from Reverend Ike, to me, he was a great motivational pastor, preacher. A motivational preacher. He says, you must go into the theater of your mind and the stage of your imagination. Robert, what becomes present for you?
Well, going back to the perspective of a vision, it starts with the vision. And we do several community programs where we have involved not only the parents, but the teachers and the parents working together to work with the students or the youth. So we have taken a proactive perspective in terms of getting every aspect of the community involved in creating a vision for the students. And again, since 1990, we have been very effective. And not just seeing them to the college level, but also seeing them to the business level, and then coming back to mentor several of the students. And it's a very informative and creative but successful program. So again, I adhere to what Principal L is saying. I do understand how that can be really alarming when the young people have no vision for the gift that they have.
Now, Principal L, you work with the students as far as playing chess. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, well, see, the chess piece, you know, when Brother Powell said, you know, what is in your hand? See, for my kids, it's a rook, it's a king, it's a bishop. It's not a gun or a knife.
Come on now.
Yeah, and that's what I'm teaching my children, that your goal is to get to Penn State, not the state pen.
Oh, hold up now.
Yeah, you know, that's how I got to bring it, brother, because the brother talked about mentoring, you know, and that's what it's all about. Our children need mentors. The adults in the community need mentors. But I'm teaching these children to play chess because life is like a chess game. You know, you got to, you know, one move, most critical moment in your life, can change the direction of your whole life. So my students are 8-time national chess champions, and now 9 because we just won another national title in Dallas, Texas. Over 2,000 competitors, and my kids 95% poverty, but they don't let them stop that from achieving. And so, my students are some of the best chess players in the nation. And I got an all-girls team that beats up on everybody. They feared by everybody, because we got to raise up our young ladies to be the queens that they are to help us get these kings together in the community. So that's my goal, is to get these students to learn mathematics on the chessboard, but that, they can choose the behavior, but they can't choose the consequences.
Now, Principal L, I saw the movie Life of a King with Cuba Gooding Jr. I thought it was a great movie. What did you think?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, that's what life is all about, that you can always turn yourself around, because that story has several different messages. The idea is that you can turn your life around and inspire at any point. You can turn it around and inspire others to do the same thing. And I just think it's an awesome story. My first book, I sold the rights to Walt Disney. They never made the movie, so we're in the process right now. Will Smith wrote the foreword of my second book, so we're hoping we can get Will to push this project so we can get the story out there, as many positive stories as possible about young people all around the world. Because I visited Africa, young people in Africa. I sent you some photos of my visit to an all-girls school, and I taught they were teaching the young ladies playing chess in Africa. You know what I mean? But those are the things that we don't hear about in America. So we need to change that and change the perception, of our young people.
Right. Now, Robert, how did you become a speaker, trainer, consultant?
Well, primarily by going to a Les Brown program back in 1989, and being in the audience of a small group of people and going up to Les Brown, and it's one of those incredible things where this is your purpose, this is your destiny. Him mentoring me in the speaking and training business, going from being a speaker to a seminar developer to workshop facilitation to being an author to being a success coach to being a consultant. And then from there also to do several mentoring programs and working with other people. We have over 55 motivational speakers that we have trained since 1990. Probably 80% of those are full-time speakers. So if you've heard of Andreas Lara, Michael Lee, Dawn Bruce, who is right there in Brooklyn, even Rick Young, several people who are in the speaking and training business, they have some ties to our program, Sharing a Vision. And Sharing a Vision basically allows people to see, accept, and achieve their greatness. Because if you can't see it, you can't be it. And then everything starts with a vision.
Mm-hmm. So, wow. So, Principal L, you also did some work with Dr. Oz and also the Oprah Radio Network. Tell me about that.
Yeah, and all I can say is amen to, what Brother Robert is saying, because, vision is important. We need to make sure that we're promoting that in our community. A vision without a plan is hallucination. And we got to make sure our young people, as well as the adults in the community, understand that we all know this, that a people without a vision will perish. And so I appreciate the brother sharing that. And we need to make sure that the listeners understand that we always need to be thinking about, our next move. And that's, the work that I've been doing with Dr. Oz, on, Over Radio Network and other outlets, is really trying to help young people understand that, and adults as well, is that we have to have a sound mind and sound body. And so, Dr. Oz often says that 50% of our young people in middle school right now, you're growing up in tough communities, they're going to be diabetics when they get older based on their present diets. So these young people have to change the way they eat and the way they exercise. And as the adults, we have to model that and encourage that. So we got to make sure we're eating right. We got to make sure we're exercising. Children emulate what they see. When we were growing up, our parents say, do as I say, not as I do. But today our children are very, very, very perceptive. I observe 85% of communication is nonverbal. So we got to make sure that we're models of success and good living, for our young people. And that's what it's all about. Just trying to get everybody in the community to live better, to live great, and to live that way today.
Now, Robert, tell me a little bit about this success networking.
Well, primarily the success networking is focused on what you say will be the way. So whatever you speak will be the way. So the reason we call it a success network is because that's what we want to identify with. We want a successful outcome. Then the success networking is not just speaking and training, but just to get into, again, allow the mental effect of people gathering together. One of the things in the last 5 years that we have started is in several different cities and towns of getting together and just sharing ideas. And if the concept goes, if I have an idea and you have an idea and Principal L has an idea and we all share our ideas, now we not only have just one, but we've got 3 ideas that we can share with others. And so the fundamental piece of the Success Network is to find how you can be of service to one another and share ideas. And it's also building your relationships with people all over the country, as Principal L also said, all over the world. And the one thing that I'd like to question in reference to all of the social media with Facebook, why are we not putting out the whole perspective of diet and exercise and all these good things on Facebook for our people? That's the one thing that I don't see us using it effectively enough. We're using it in terms of talking about social things or our personal perspective, but we're not talking about information. And I believe that education, motivation, and inspiration go together. That's how you empower people. So, again, I think we should look at, seriously, success networking through social media, but providing phenomenal and positive information for our children, for our adults, for our community.
Listen, guys, I got a confession to make. So yesterday I had a guest scheduled, a wonderful, amazing young lady who's going to be sharing what I think is going to be a powerful program, right? And she got ill. The last minute she got ill. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to say that, I hope that she gets better soon. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to say God is amazing. Would you agree with me, Robert?
He works in unexpected ways, unexpected people, in unexpected places. For good.
Principal L, would you agree that God is amazing?
Oh, unbelievable, brother. You know, I've said to you often that, God doesn't call to equip. He equips to call. When you get called for it, he makes sure you have everything that you need, and he's not concerned with who you were, just who you're trying to become. So he is awesomely amazing.
Because this young lady, she wrote a powerful book, networking book, a powerful networking book called The 29% Solution. And she was scheduled to be my guest today. We're going to reschedule because her program is incredible. But then this goes into the networking. So ironically, we're networking right now. And man, I'm excited about that, And so she wasn't able to come on, but we're actually doing the work that she teaches right now. Will you say to that, Brother Robert?
Well, again, as I said earlier, we coined the phrase, and I don't know if Dr. L heard this, but one of the major things is that growing up in Texas in a Baptist church, we used to sing a song called This Little Light of Mine. Are you familiar with that, Principal L?
Oh, yes, sir. I'm going to let it shine.
Yes, sir. All right. Let's see. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. And then the second verse of that song, which is, everywhere I go, I'm going to let it shine. That in itself is the definition of success networking. Everywhere we go, we're going to let that light shine.
That's right. That's right. And we have to become the kind of people who are comfortable in celebrating the success of other people.
Yes,
we got to be okay with that.
Well, I'm glad you said that because I want you to listen to this, Brother L. We're going to celebrate the success of one of my other brothers. Hold on a second. I need you to listen to this, Brother L.
Okay.
Ho! Hey! Ho! Hey! Ho!
Big
Hey!
12.
Big 12.
Coming through. Way up in the atmosphere. Way up in the numbers. I bet they didn't know they were doing 12s. 12. Big 12.
Hey!
When you see him, holla out. When you see him, holla out.
I'm dancing in the studio, y'all. Hey!
When you see him, holla out. When you see him, holla out. I said 12 times 1, 12, 12 times 2,
12 times 3, 12 times 4. Ho!
12 times 5, 16, 12 times 6, 12 times 7, 12 times 8, 12 times 9, 12 times 10, 12 times 11, 12 times 12,
Ho! Hey! 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 Big 12. Hootie hoo!
he coming through.
Principal L, that was my brother, A. Lester Givens. Everybody in that video with him is young brothers and sisters, and they teaching them mathematics through dance, hip hop, and rap. Brother L, what do you think about that?
Man, I love it, man. We got to go to where they are and take them to where we need them to go. And that's a prime example. It's a perfect example, brother. We need that.
Now, Brother L, I'm in the studio. It was 7 o'clock in the morning dancing, brother, celebrating. I told Robert earlier, I said, I want to party. I want to. That's what we were just doing. I'm in the studio dancing, man. Brother Principal L, what do you think about that?
That's what we have to do, brother. We gotta dance like David danced. You know, we gotta lift up our children and lift up education and success and networking and entrepreneurship in the community, and we gotta sing loud. The problem for us is that we can no longer afford to be a tiny spark for our children. We got to make sure that we're going to all levels to get them that information and knowledge they need. And this is a perfect example, brother. I love it. I was dancing myself.
Now, Robert E. Kreiner, you know, I introduced you to A. Lester Givens, and he's down in your area, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Tell me about your meeting him and the work that you're going to be doing together, Robert.
Well, it's just phenomenal because once he gave me a DVD of his work, and we had a chance to review it and give him some coaching and some consulting.
Come on now.
We're going to help take him, not just to the state of Texas, but pretty much through the Southwest. And as I said before, he's going to join our Mark of Greatness tour, which we do between June 1st and August 31st. And he'll be on several sites, including Houston, Austin, and, of course, his own home area, the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But, again, an exciting brother. And, again, it takes creativity to reach our young people. And, again, as Principal L said, reach them where they are so that we can guide them to this thing called greatness.
Man, listen, man. I need you to listen to this right here, Pete. Listen to this piece right here. And tell me what you think right here. I'm excited, man. I'm real excited.
I'm going to have to run after this piece here, bro, so I can get to the school, to the kids' school.
Right. Okay. Last piece here for you.
Okay.
There we go.
If you want to be important, wonderful. If you want to be recognized, wonderful. If you want to be great, wonderful. But recognize that he who is greatest among you shall be your servant. That's a new definition of greatness. This morning, the thing that I like about it, By giving that definition of greatness, it means that everybody can be great. Because everybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and your verb agree to serve. You don't have to know about Plato and Aristotle to serve. You don't have to know Einstein's theory of relativity to serve. You don't have to know the second theory of thermodynamics in physics to serve. You only need a heart full of grace. Soul generated by love. You can be that servant.
And you can be that service. Wow. Principal L, what became present for you as you listened to that piece by Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.?
Leadership is about service. If you don't serve, you can't lead. And that's very important in our community, brother.
Okay. We're gonna let you go because you got to get to that school to those students. Give Robert. How can Robert reach you?
He can go right onto my website, principal.l.com.
Okay.
Just Google me. I'm the principal of Thomas Edison Charter School. As a matter of fact, I just left that Dallas area with my students. That's where we won our national championship. We were down at that Dallas Anatole Hotel. It's a beautiful facility.
Ain't that something?
Yeah. The brother can reach me there. My number is 215-350-2775. Website is www.principalel.com. Look forward to hearing from you, and I'm staying in touch with you, brother, because this is a powerful show, and you're doing great things in the community.
What's in your hand,
that, my brother?
Okay, all right. Listen, get to those children, and we'll be in touch.
All right, peace and blessings.
All right, peace and blessings. Okay. Oh, Robert, how you feel, man?
I'm good. Again, this is the day the Lord has made. I'm rejoicing and I'm glad in it, brother. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me give a shout out to your listeners in terms of how to get in touch with me, because we have a new website, Rick Young. It's www.iamsharingavision.com. That's www.iamsharingavision.com.
Yeah.
Our phone number, office number is 580-529-3052. Quick repeat, 580-529-3052. We look forward to hearing from you. Anything we can do, we would consider a gift of service.
Wow, look at that. Like Dr. King said, right? He said the greatest among us, the greatest among us are servants.
That's correct. That's it.
Wow. Well, so how was it meeting Principal L?
Yeah, good. Again, I hear some strong vibes there. I hear some dedication, and I hear somebody who is progressive in terms of his thinking, because it's not just the children, but it's their environment as well. And so our program is conducive. The Sharing a Vision program goes into the community and works with students, teachers, and parents.
And principals.
It's a threefold experience.
And principals.
Yes. Well, again, principals are teachers, they're educators.
And
that's the fundamental thing. The word education comes from the Latin word educar. Rick Young, it means to draw out. Woo! See, if you're an educator, that means you draw out the best in your students.
There you go.
That greatness is there, but you, as an educator, the kid doesn't know. The young person doesn't know that greatness is there. That's why we do what we do, with purpose and passion and persistence. Because, again, once we get in front of the young person and say to them that the mark of greatness is upon you, he looks or she looks at you like you're crazy. But the essence of what they're doing is that, let me hear a little bit more of that. We worked with, Patterson, our first school that we worked with in New Jersey several years ago was Eastside High School. You remember that? They did a movie of it called Lean on Me.
Oh, yeah.
So once we did our program there back in 1997, we knew that we could speak anywhere to kids. Because, again, Rick Young, it was an incredible experience. when someone said to me, say, hey, I know a school you can go to. And it was Eastside High School in Patterson, New Jersey.
Wow. And how was
those students responded to the Mark of Greatness tour.
Wow, look at that. They responded.
They responded because, again, they didn't know anything about greatness. And that's what I said to you. When you say to a group of 100 kids, 80% of those kids want to learn what the greatness is. Now, the 20%, it doesn't mean that the 20% are lost. It means that the 80% will go and get the 20% because peer pressure is contagious. So if that's the truth, then positive peer pressure is certainly contagious.
Wow.
Remember, destiny is a matter of choice, not a matter of chance. So I look forward to working with Principal L in any capacity and how we can serve his school, his community.
Wow.
That's what success networking is all about.
Success networking.
Yes, sir.
All right, hold on a second, Robert.
Something about you. It is a quote. I quote, "Our worst fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of God within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. This is with gratitude to Marianne Williamson, everybody. There's a little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. There's a little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. There's a little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Yes, there's a little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, shine. There's a little light.
Robert, how you feel this morning?
Hey, I'm feeling great. Let my light shine, brother.
That's it, man. This moment will never ever happen again. But the thing I want to focus on, Robert, on what's possible for our lives. What's possible? What are we able to create for those youth? We could create something amazing, something magnificent, because the people that's putting out the negative stuff, they putting their stuff out there consistently. How do we get our stuff out there, Robert? Our positive stuff, our motivation, our success, our light. How do we get that out there, Robert?
Well, again, I go back to the whole perspective of social media, that putting out information that helps stress the importance of developing positive self-esteem and self-confidence, and to impress upon our youth the importance and advantage of goal setting. Goal setting means short-term goals, medium-range goals, and long-term goals. Also to assist youth in developing good decision-making skills, helping youth develop techniques for coping with peer pressure, developing leadership programs, as well as to motivate youth to seek rewarding careers, thereby aiding them to become creative, productive, and well-adjusted citizens, striving for greatness. So again, the fundamental thing, social media, also for those of the people in your audience, to make sure that they are going back into the community to do some type of mentoring because they've got a positive word or positive thought or positive suggestion that may just help a young person seek and find their greatness.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Robert, there was a guy named Al. Actually, his name is Albert. Actually, his name is Albert Einstein, and he said that imagination is more important than knowledge. What do you say to that, Robert?
Well, it is because again, the mind. This is why the UNCF has the slogan: "A mind is a terrible thing to waste." So we are mind. Even when the body kind of goes, if you've seen that experience, Rick, where someone's body is not operating effectively, but their mind is still sharp. So that is such a true statement in terms of Einstein, what he's saying. But the fundamental thing is that you've got to use the mind creatively. You've got to imagine. You've got to see things going well. In other words, you've got to even change your language. Remember, what you say will be the way. So again, rather than saying the word problem, why not the word challenge?
Ooh, come on now.
See, it's in the language. It's the success is hidden in the language. It's what you say will be the way. Right. Remember, also, vision is seeing the opportunity inside of the challenges. We have an opportunity. What's in your head?
Right. So like,
what's in your head?
So like when my guest got ill, Michelle Donovan, who's she wrote an excellent book with Dr. Ivan Meisner, who's created BNI, the 29% solution, and she was scheduled to be my guest today. We're going to really get into this networking. I mean, we're going to get into it. And when she got ill, what did I say, Robert? I said, God is amazing. And look what showed up.
Yes, all the time.
You showed up
all the time.
And Principal L showed up. I mean, there it is. There it is.
Right, and I'd like to make a point to mention Herbert Harris, someone I've shared the stage with you on your particular program before, and I'm sure your listeners have heard him.
Yes.
But Herbert Harris is 12 universal laws. You must put that in your library.
Yes.
12 universal laws, because again, the laws are simple, but they are very challenging to do on a daily basis. But Herbert Harris is somebody that I really admire and has mentored me personally. So I just wanted to put that out there because, again, he is part of our incredible success network.
Yes. And we got plenty more, and that's 12 universal laws of success. And we're gonna do it, Robert. I mean, like I said, it only goes as far as our imagination could go, and we're gonna really do some amazing work. As you said now, these are your words, right? These are your words. Dare to dream in 2014.
Absolutely.
So we're dreaming big in 2014.
We're dreaming big.
Yes. I'm excited. I am so excited about what's about to happen, with your book, how to keep yourself motivated and win at the game of life. That's a incredible. They say don't judge a book by a title, but that's a bad title, man. That's an amazing title.
Well, we also have two more books that are coming out for 2014. One is called "It's Not Where You Come From, It's Where You're Growing." It's not where you come from. Again, when you come from the housing projects, I too am a housing project kid. But the issue is not where you come from, it's where you're growing. It's a personal development book.
Right.
And the second book we have is called How to Be an Optimist in a Pessimistic World. It teaches you the principles about staying focused and committed and determined to reach your goals no matter what.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So again, we're putting the tools out here. We're going to make sure that people have access to it. And again, I want to repeat that website, which is www.iamsharingavision.com. iamsharingavision.com. And they can tap on there and reach out to me, and we can do some really good free coaching for you in terms of getting some questions answered and getting you on the road to your purpose, your passion, and being persistent.
Yeah. Hold on a second, Robert.
Yes, sir.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
This is Reverend Calvin Butts. I'm a supporter of WHCR and their efforts to inform and entertain our community. Beloved, listen carefully to WHCR. You will be inspired, you will be informed, and you will be a better citizen and, of course, a better family member here in Harlem. Thank you.
You're listening to WHCR 90.3 FM, the voice of Harlem.
Now, Robert, imagine, we're talking about imagination. Imagine little children. You know, they're coming out with a cartoon, a Think and Grow Rich cartoon. Did you know that? The Napoleon Hill Foundation?
Heard that. I saw an email on that, yes.
Yeah, they're coming out with a cartoon, so that's good. So imagine these little ones, little kindergarten students studying Think and Grow Rich, Law of Success, and all these other amazing books. Your book, How to Keep Yourself Motivated and Win at the Game of Life, and sharing a vision for positive self-development. Imagine these little kindergarten students studying these principles, and that become a part of who they are in their life. They're gonna imagine them how they're gonna grow up. Could you imagine that?
Absolutely. In fact, in Dallas, I work with two schools that are teaching Think and Grow Rich in their as a part of their curriculum, and the difference is like day and night in terms of the regular students who are not exposed to Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill's work, versus the ones who are. And the question I've asked in the Dallas Independent School District is why can't they do that on an ongoing basis? And the issue is going to get very political, Rick. But again, yes, I can imagine. Because again, once you plant that seed of greatness, once you introduce a person to their purpose, their passion, and then create a sense of persistence for them, they go on to do great things.
Right.
Fannie Lou Hamer, all of these great people, this is how they start. George Washington Carver, because they found their purpose. Somebody introduced them to their greatness.
Yes. And so we have brothers like A. Lester Givens, and I know you're going to let him know that we played we shared his work on the air today, and we played it for the Principal L. Let him know that. And
yes.
The audience get a chance to hear his work, and meet Principal L, and they met Cornell Thomas, and now you again and Herbert Harris. So man, we putting together a magnificent team, man. This is a dynasty.
It's phenomenal.
This is a championship team, and we start off with full court press from beginning to end. Full court press. We ain't playing. We ain't letting you bring the game to us. We taking the game to you.
94 feet.
There you go. That's it. You know, and I'm excited about where we're going and the work that we're going to be doing. I'm excited, man, but we just got to keep this thing going, man. We got to come out strong, just like the negativity that come with these negative movies, these negative TV shows. We got to come out even stronger to let them know that here we are and we got something for you, and give it a shot. Take a look at what we got. Take a look at it. You know.
Well, again, certainly it comes down to programming.
Yeah.
Rick Young, that again, the person has to learn to program his or her mind effectively. Yeah. So whether it's reading a book, whether it is looking at something online, whether it is putting in a CD in the morning to program yourself, there's something that it says that what you hear in the first 20 minutes of your day controls the spirit of your day.
Right.
So again, you have to learn how to program your own mind. And again, I'll give you for instance, as a young lady who is one of our speakers, and she was married and had like two small children, 2 and 5, and they would literally get up and put on a CD that talked about whether it was Les Brown, whether it was me, whether it was someone else, and they would literally, and these kids would hear that. They would hear positive information in the morning. And by the time they got into first grade and second grade and third grade, they were already hyped. They were already listening to motivational tapes. And it really made a difference, not only with the children, but with this young lady's marriage. So this whole perspective of programming your mind for success is real. Now, again, if you try it and it doesn't work for you, go back to being negativity and the pessimism that you had. But the bottom line is that practice makes you better and better, and what you program in your mind is what you will become.
Okay. So we're pretty much at the end now. How was the show for you today?
Excellent. Again, you always fascinate me by introducing me to someone else who is of the like-minded nature for success. So I really enjoyed hearing the small portion of Principal L, and I look forward to working and serving his community and his students and teachers. And it was an excellent show. Excellent.
Right. That's what we do, man. That's what it's all about, man. You know, and you know, my question is, you know, what's, like Les said, what's possible? What's possible for your life? What can you do when you believe in yourself? You know, my formula that I'm going to use to step in this boxing ring is, first, why do you want to get in the ring? Because I have a desire to get in the ring. But now I'm taking it not only to a desire, I'm taking it like Napoleon Hill said, a burning desire. And then the next step to my formula, Robert, is belief. Believing that I can do it, that I can get in the ring. It's been a long time since I've been in there. It's been a very, 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 very long time. The last step, Robert, to the formula is the willingness to do the work, to prepare, so that when I step in there, I can make an account of myself, a respectable, first-class representation of what I can do in that ring. The willingness to prepare.
I like that, the willingness.
That's it.
Yes. May I share this with you, that with your listeners, about the Optimist Creed, if you don't mind, and again, where they can get it. But the Optimist Creed is something that you can program your mind every day. Literally, we have changed thousands and thousands and thousands of people's lives by literally saying the Optimist Creed. And here's how it goes. It simply said, I promise myself to be so strong that nothing can disturb my peace of mind, to talk health and happiness and prosperity to every person I meet, to make all my friends feel that there is something in them, to look at the sunny side of everything and make my optimism come true, to think only of the best, to work only for the best, and expect only the best, to be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as I am about my own, to forget the mistakes of the past and press on to the greater achievements of the future, to wear a cheerful countenance at all times and give every person I meet a smile, to give so much time to the improvement of myself that I have no time to criticize others, to be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to present the presence of trouble. Now, expect a miracle.
All right. Well, all right. That's what I'm talking about.
So that particular Optimist Creed is on our website for free. You can download it for free. It's simply IamSharingAVision.com, www.IamSharingAVision.com, and you can pull that off of there. And again, what we recommend is that you say it for at least 3 weeks, 21 consecutive days, in the morning, and if you are so inclined, in the noonday and in the night, and you'll see your life change for the better.
Wow. All right. Robert, I want to thank you. You have a magnificent day, because I am so excited and pumped up about what's going to happen with the rest of this day, this amazing day that we've been blessed with. You know, everybody didn't make it. Everybody that was here yesterday didn't make it today.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. We are here, and we're here to celebrate, Rick Young.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right, man. I will see you soon, and we got some amazing work to do.
All right. I look forward to it.
I'm going to finish up with some.
Time for just wishing is past.
Okay.
Time.
I talk to you soon.
You got to be hungry, baby.
All right, and I'll talk to you soon, Robert. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rick Young signing off with another segment of What's in Your Hand. The next voice you'll hear will be William Torres. I see you on Sunday. I got a powerful show lined up on Sunday. And this weekend, success. This weekend, positive thinking, positive mental attitude. This weekend, live your dreams. This weekend, it's all about you. You are a champion.
For doing, that's the time right now. Time for acting on your dream. It's time for you to look within yourself and decide that I'm in charge of my destiny. I'm in charge here.
But do you ever hear people say they are eager to live a better life? If they really desired change, they wouldn't spend their evenings just watching TV and wishing they were doing something more.
Well, because you have to judge a tree by the fruit it bears, not the fruit that it talks about.
I'll be happy when I just what? You've got to be a dreamer. You've got to see the future finished in advance. Happiness doesn't come from big pieces of great success, but from small advantages hammered out day by day.
They have faith for everybody else but themselves. They encourage everybody but themselves because they do not know that they have what it takes.
It's like you have to save your own life. Nobody's going to be able to save it for you. So we have to do what we have to do, no matter what it is.
I want you to know, I don't care how far-fetched it might appear to be to your family members or your friends, or even to you.
What you're going through right now is a discovery moment.
What you will realize is that you're greater than your circumstances.
It is a discovery moment.
What you'll realize is that you're more powerful than you can ever begin to imagine.
The burdens you bear, these are discovery moments. Not moments where you discover how bad life is, but rather how strongly you have been created.
You have to know within yourself that I can do this. Even if no one else sees it for me, I must see it for myself.
Powerful people recognize potential in people. And people of potential know power when they see it.
Okay.
And I want to share something with you that has changed my life. No matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it. Say that to yourself every day. A man doesn't keep pace with his companions. Perhaps he's listening to the beat of a different drummer. Let him dance to the music that he hears, however measured or far apart.
This is the moment that you find out who you really are.
He said, but imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed. And standing around your bed, the ghost of the ideas, the dreams, the abilities, the talents given to you by life. And there they are standing around your bed looking at you with large angry eyes saying, we came to you and only you could have given us life. The question is, if you died today, what ideas, what dreams, what abilities, what talents, what gifts will die with you?
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.